Hi, I'm Jonathan Shine, practice leader of National Real Estate Investor, and we are broadcasting from our National Net Lease Investment Conference in Chicago. It's our inaugural event, and we're sitting here with Don Resnick, partner of Jenner and Block. Welcome, Don.
Thank you.
Who is a patron sponsor of this event, our inaugural event. And I'd just like to ask you a few questions, Don, based on your opening remarks, from pretty much a 30,000 square foot view. Not a 30,000 square foot view, but that's real estate in general.
Right.
A 30,000 foot viewpoint of what you see in the net lease industry at this point in the cycle, as it were.
As a transactional lawyer, our practice kind of lives and dies on volume of transactions. And obviously over the last few years, the level of what I would call positive transactions as opposed to workouts has dropped dramatically. One area that's kind of held its own, it's down, but held its own, has been the net lease industry.
Throughout the whole cycle?
Pretty much. Well, probably in, end of 2008, early 2009, no industry held their own. Okay,
we don't count that year.
But short of that, I would say throughout the whole cycle, and I think a lot of it is due to the inherent strong fundamentals of the net lease industry. You know, as long as you are focused on creditworthy tenants or tenants with a good business and a good background, or you have at least you have a building that is a solid building in a great location that's not single purpose. There are people who want to invest, and the fact is you probably had to invest a little more equity and a little less debt, which drove the yields down a little bit. You weren't leveraged as much, but the market never dried up. I mean, it never just went cold turkey. And it was one of the few areas where corporate America had an avenue to finance that otherwise would has been closed off.
There's not a lot of capital in the market for anything in the past, those years.
Right.
And so it was a way to raise money during a really difficult time during what we call the Great Recession. Where do you see the single tenant lease and net lease industry moving from here?
From here, I think you're looking at an industry that is very tied into the national economy, changes in the economy, and even more so, perceived changes in the economy, and the creditworthiness of corporate America. So you can look at companies' balance sheets today, but when you do a net lease deal, you're concerned about what their balance sheet's going to look like in 10 years.
Of course.
And are you going to be able to exit that deal? And you're not going to be able to exit if you don't have a strong tenant. But I think that the economy, low interest rates have been a tremendous boon to this industry. There's very little alternatives, other places to put your money. It's a great way of essentially investing in both real estate and in the future of solid companies. I think the tech industry, the internet and social network industry has helped in this regard, although people have to be careful because you don't have a long track record with those types of tenants.
Obviously, I mean, you see what's happened to Facebook stock over the since the initial offering. Has it changed the nature of retail as well?
It probably has. I mean, you've got historically, you had a lot of big box single tenants, which made deals easy to do. But on the other hand, now you go back and you look at Circuit City and Linens and Things and other companies. Now you still have the same big box, but now you've got to reposition that for smaller tenants. So it creates a lot of challenges.
Okay.
You really, the net lease business is much. It's probably less about real estate than it is about the business of the tenant, as opposed to other aspects of the real estate industry.
So as we start to grow out and the cycle starts to take off, you're pretty much bullish on this single tenant lease.
I think so. I think I think that there's a lot of opportunities. I think as long as rates stay where they're at, and I think also if rates start to go up, or people perceive we're getting near the end of the low rate cycle.
Yes.
I think that'll help the industry as well. I think people who are sitting on the sidelines thinking there's no rush will think to myself, I better lock in the long-term deal right now.
Okay. Well, that sounds great. I just really want to thank you. Be it National Real Estate Investor and Pentamita, want to thank you for being one of our patron sponsors and offering us this gracious space.
We appreciate the opportunity very much.
Thank you very much.
You bet.